Hi, I'm Dave from Military Antiques Toronto, and these are some more of the items that we've picked up recently. Some are at a museum, some are walk-ins, some are at a collector's. It's a mixed bag because you never know what's going to walk in the door when you have a retail store, which is a good thing, but you sometimes have to shake your head at the volume and the stuff that does walk in. So easiest to get through right here is, and quickest, are these fork spoon combos. They're World War II German. These are listed on the website. This one, let's see, they are marked. That one's dated 39, right there, as you can clearly see. And this one here is not dated, though it is marked. I'll open her up. So it looks like S and H. So there you go. Those are on the website. I don't know how long they last. I've had one recently and it sold instantly. So either I was asking too little or someone needed it. One or the other. It's all good. This came out of a museum. Unusual. You know, I'm kind of looking at it going, all right, whatever, right? It's a lamp. And obviously it takes a candle and light reflects out of this, and I get that. And the people I got it from, they didn't know what it was either until they looked at the back and saw this, and it turns out that those are some Japanese symbols. So that obviously led everyone to believe that it was a Japanese lantern. So obviously, as it rattles away, this is on the website, by the way. The candle goes there, and it's on a plunger. It goes further down, and it comes up the lighter it gets, obviously, and that reflects off the mirror inside. And then you open that to get all the light, or just partly, or whatever you want, and there you go. So I guess you could be walking, you probably carry this if you want to signal a train for whatever. You know, honestly, it's Japanese. I'm not an expert on Japanese, but I thought it was kind of cool, so I bought it because, you know what, it's not something that turns up a lot up here. So it's World War II Japanese lantern, and because of the symbols on the back, don't ask me what it says. I really can't read it because we're not the Vapors and we're not turning Japanese. And the only people who get that and know who the band the Vapors are. So that's it. But that is on the website. So there's that. Then I had this infantry pattern sword come in. This came back from an employee that I sold it to. It appears he has a library card and keeps buying stuff and then decides he wants something better, so he returns it for something else. So it's an 1897 pattern infantry sword. I know that because it obviously is. Distributed by Scully in Montreal. It's George V. So metal field scab, metal parade scabbard. And there's the George V. Actually, it's a really nice blade, truthfully. And there on the other side, if you can see it, there's William Scully. And the King's Crown on the blade with a coat of arms. Very nice condition. Wilkinson swords are serial numbered here on the spine. Then you can trace who it belonged to because Wilkinson in general kept the information on everyone who bought swords off them. If it was just sold to a retailer, then it was it's not really recorded except being sold to the retailer. But if it was sold specifically to someone who ordered a sword from Wilkinson, then the serial number on there would say, you know, Lieutenant Bloggins, whatever, and then you at least know his name, who it belonged to, and what unit. Because the blades aren't always named, but the serial number for Wilkinson, at least you can research. In general, you can't always, sometimes you can't, but normally you can. So that's that. So, coffee. Last Traneagle sold, so I got another Traneagle. This one's been repaired, which honestly, I like it. It is a way to sell it and prove that it's real, by the way, because it was repaired. I'm not saying that's the case here, but with all this stuff, German-wise, please be careful. There's a lot of reproductions of everything. Actually, they reproduce pretty well everything. They reproduce American stuff, World War II, World War I. They reproduce Canadian stuff, British, German. They reproduce everything. So most of the stuff's made in China, Pakistan, India, whatever. Hell, the current Canadian Forces badges are made in China now, which I don't get. What happened to the Canadian suppliers? whatever. I got nothing. Lowest possible bidder. Don't forget, that's who makes your body armor. This is listed on the website. It does have a tag on it. I did not photo the tag. It did not put that on the website because, to me, it's a handwritten tag with no provenance. So, as you can see on the back, you can see where it's been re-welded. I obviously didn't break it. It's the way I got it. The nuts are still on it, which a lot of times they're not, which is nice. It is marked Wagon 720 right here. BLN RZA2. What does the tag say? Stad Birch's Garden. Overs, yeah, Berg. You know what? Again, I give no provenance to that. It looks like an old string, looks like an old tag. But I didn't photo that when I put it on the website because I have no proof that that's where it came from. And it's easier to be honest with people than mess about. So I can give you all the close-up details on this, but why bother? It is on the website. And most importantly, you can see that it is repaired. The last one was $7,000. It's sold. And when I first put it out, people were like, oh, how much is that? Thinking I'm going to give it away. But it wasn't mine. It was on consignment. It's sold for $7,000. It's gone. This one is cheaper because it has been repaired. You know, the problem with this stuff is if you want real stuff, it costs X. If you want to gamble and go on Kijiji or eBay or whatever and hope that it's real, and buy it from someone who's going to take your money and run away and have no return policy, then please feel free to buy from them and find out the hard way. And you know what? You might get lucky. There are times you will get lucky. You're going to run all the way to the bank and laugh because you bought something really cheap at a good price. Great. But there's also a lot of times you're going to find out that you got ripped off and that it was fake and you weren't paying attention. You know, I've done that. I had this very beautiful lady walk in the door once. We're all standing there. She brought in some trench art. We're looking at trench art and her. That's putting it mildly. And I'm like, yep, I'll pay you. I don't know, it was $200, whatever. Yep. And she left and we all ran to the door and we're all looking down the street as she walked away. And we're all impressed. And I came back in and looked at the trench art and went, shit, it's fake. Can't believe I just did that. So, you know what? Roll the dice, find out the hard way. You know, you can get lucky, definitely. Some things do show up at thrift shops and on Facebook Marketplace and everything. Not all the time, but they do. And you might get lucky. You also might not get lucky. So please buy from someone who has a return policy and that isn't going to rip you off. That way, at least, you know, you have some safety net that you're not going to get ripped off in the end. So last but not least, I sold this to a customer who then recently has fallen some hard times, so he brought it back, which is fine, not a problem. So it's an SS with a vertical hanger. So it's certainly not mint. It's not perfect. We'll start with the scabbard and the hanger. But, you know, at least it's real, so I don't mind. So the things with this are the ball is not crushed. These get crushed very easily because they are thin. They get dropped, they get dented, they get broken. The other thing to look for is the screws, if they've been turned or messed with. And so those are just some little pointers to think about when looking at these. There's painted scabbard and anodized scabbard. This is an anodized scabbard. As you can see, it doesn't have paint. Then we have the vertical hanger, which is unusual. Normally you just have the loop. This one is marked Asman right there. Deutschreich patent, GRGM. Let's see, was there any other markings on the vertical hanger? No, not that I see. No, I don't see any other markings on the vertical hanger. But it's a nice piece. I was looking online, I stumbled across someone selling a vertical hanger alone, and they were selling it for $900 US. I was like, wow, okay, whatever. Then we have the Dagger. And I don't remember who I bought this from, but whatever. It's come and gone, so it doesn't matter. It's just stuff, and it's off the market now. So there's the motto. Unfortunately, it's not as dark as you'd like, but it's not messed up, so whatever, right? And you can see on the other side that it is a Boker, it is a Boker. Why there's initials engraved on there, I don't know. I didn't do it. It's the way I got it and the way I sold it. I bought this years ago, sold it, and now it's come back, so whatever. The handle, because it's wood, has some impressions on it from use and abuse and improper storage or being thrown around, whatever you want to phrase it as. And there's the SS little symbol and the handle and the eagle. So nice blade. It's got a bit of cross graining still. Doing that, there's a tiny nick on it. I will wipe that off as soon as I'm done. And no, that's it. That's good. But yeah, right there, there's a tiny nick on the blade. But yes, now that I've touched the blade, I will wipe that off to make sure that it doesn't leave anything from my fingers on the blade, because there's acid in your fingers. And if you I'm going to do this, put your fingers all over the blade and don't wipe it off. This goes for Japanese swords, any blades. The acid in your fingers over time will etch that blade with your fingerprints. I've seen this. Don't do it. So if you do it, just wipe it off. And if you're going to want to protect these, if you want to invest in German daggers, swords, whatever, just put some light machine oil on them to protect them over time. Because, the problem with swords, and I've seen this, they've come in, people are out on parade with them, like officers. They don't care, so they put their sword away, and it's wet. And then you find out when you go to pull that sword out 6 months later, the sword's rusted into the scabbard and you can't get it out, or it's got rust on the blade. And now it's pitted the blade, and therein lies the problem. So you want to take care of this stuff, whether you're using it for parade purposes, if in case of an officer's sword, or you're using it for investment because you don't trust the government. Hey, I don't trust the government, and you shouldn't. So they don't have your best interests at heart. Sorry, not hearts. Anyway, I obviously need more coffee. I'm very tired. Anyways, thanks for looking. Follow me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Check out my website, militaryantiquestoronto.com. You know what? You never know what's going to come in the door, and my problem is just enough time to get videos done with everything that's going on. So, the best thing is to come in and check out the store, because you never know. Thanks for looking. Have a good day. Take care. Bye.